Hey guys, using oven baked clay, I made geometric earrings, Monstera leaf earrings, moon hairpins, and a marbled pendant necklace, and here's what I did. I bought 2 different brands of oven baked clay. Then I realized that they needed to be baked at different temperatures, so I didn't want to mix colors if they weren't from the same brand. I used the colors Silver, Latte, Windsor Blue, and Dolphin Grey. First I rolled a ball of silver clay, then flattened it into a thin sheet. I placed the clay on a sheet protector so it could be easily removed. I made tiny geometric templates and cut them out of clay with an x-acto. I made more shapes in the color Latte. With a T-pin, I made holes near the top of some pieces. Make sure they're close enough to the edge that a jump ring will fit through it. Then bake them according to the instructions. Using the other brand of clay, I made more geometric shapes in the color Dolphin Grey. To make Monstera leaves, I cut out narrow hearts, then made holes near the top. I cut slits on both sides and made thin triangles with each slit. Then I rounded the ends. I made a couple of holes with a T-pin. I turned it over to refine the details on the back and repeated these steps with the other leaf. I tried forming a ball with the color Windsor Blue, but it just crumbled into pieces. I'm not sure why I did that, but I just went with it and made crumbs. I added crumbs on both sides of the Dolphin Grey clay. Then rolled it flat. I cut out shapes and added holes near the top. I combined extra Windsor Blue and Dolphin Grey clay together and was able to get a marbled effect. I made a half circle with holes near the top corners. Then I baked the clay pieces according to the instructions. I mixed and matched my geometric pieces. I added jump rings to them and made smaller jump rings to add on. Then I used E6000 to join the pieces. I clamped them with clothespins until they dried. Add earring hooks to the pieces, and the earrings are done. For the moon hairpins, I glued moon clay pieces to bobby pins. I placed a craft stick between the bobby pin ends so that the glue didn't stick to both ends. Clamp them with clothespins until they're dry, and the moon hairpins are done. For the marbled pendant necklace, I knotted 2 pieces of embroidery floss to the pendant. I added 2 wooden beads on each side, then added glue to secure the beads. I placed another bead on each side and knotted the clasp and jump rings to the ends, then added glue to secure them. Cut the extra string and the necklace is done. And here's how the clay earrings, hairpins, and necklace turned out.